you have to sit in solitude and you have to sit in silence. People are scared of that. People are scared to sit and they're like, man, I gotta turn on something. Oh, I gotta turn on some music. I gotta turn on some TV. You ever seen somebody do that? They just are scared of silence. My mentor tells me all the time, shout out to Soul Immortal. He tells me all the time, the answer, you want the answer for what you need to be trying to do, why your life the way it is, why you're going through what you're going through, why you ain't made it to the destination that you're supposed to make it to. Why? It's in the darkness and it's in the silence.
Hey, these brothers, man, let's talk about the secrets of the silence. And when I say the secrets of the silence, I'm really talking about the work that must be done inside the silence, man. Because we can talk about the power and the information and knowledge and all that stuff of going inside and spending that time alone. But man, we need to talk about what must be done when you're in that space. Shout out to my brother Lo Trey, man. You know, me and that brother used to burn the midnight oil together back in the days, man. We used to have them 0 dark 30 mornings together, man. If you know, you know, man, from East Texas, man. We used to put that work in, man. But and I think it's ironic that I saw that my brother Trey posted that video, man. And make sure you go follow this channel. I'll be sure to leave a link, because I'm actually coming out of, you know, that silence, coming out of periods of stillness, not making a lot of content, kind of being to myself. And I had planned on not coming out of this phase until May, a couple more days, man. But after I heard my brother Trey give me the shout out, man, I figured that was my cue, man. And I wanted to just talk about that work that must be done in the silence, man. I want to say this. Like, growing up, man, we look at certain things, people, places, and tools as the greatest source of knowledge, right? Whether it's your preacher, whether it's your father, whether it's the Bible, whether it's the dictionary, whether it's grandmama Nin, whether it's whatever. Like, everybody has those top sources or that top source of where to go when it's time to get knowledge, when it's time to evolve, when it's time to self-correct, when it's time to do whatever, man. I'm going to tell you this. There's no greater form of inspiration. There's no deeper level of obtaining knowledge. There's no deeper way to get information that's going to get you out the mud or get you to the next level. Because it's not always about being at the bottom like we make it seem. Sometimes the elevation, sometimes you're in a good space and it's just time to evolve. Sometimes you're just looking at life and say, you know what? I want to whoop more of life's ass. There's no place you're going to get that, man, outside of the silence. Because you have to understand, man, when we talk about silence, it's more than just shutting the fuck up. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than just going into periods of where you're cutting everything off, or you're not clubbing, or you're not drinking, or you're not smoking, or you're not talking to no one. It's deeper than that. It's about going in this space and communing with source. It's about trying to, this is what it's about. It's about putting yourself closer to a state of death, because death is the highest level of consciousness. I've been saying that for probably 10 years. So even if you can incorporate a little fasting in your silence, it's about getting you closer to being one-on-one with that source so you can get that information. So the first thing, man, understand it's not just about you being quiet. It's about you going deep and becoming one with that thing that created us, man. You know what I'm saying? It's about, and when I say becoming one with that thing that created us, really it's just a matter of you first separating yourself from everything you knew. Like, you have to understand the only way you're really going to get a benefit of going into the silence is if you're going into it saying, okay, you know what, everything I thought I knew, I'm willing to release it if I'm shown something different. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I say that is because, see, once we mature, once we become closer to source, once we evolve as men, going into the silence doesn't mean we're coming out of a bad state. Like if I can look back to 2009 when I was forced into the silence, it was a dark spot. And I understood that the only reason I went to that dark spot is so I could release everything that I was attached to, because I no longer trusted it. I no longer trusted the information. I no longer trusted the books I read. And that's where I had to be to hear what was being said. But now I can be on a high horse going to that silence and still release it. So the first thing is, man, to get closer to God, to even start the process that needs to be started in that silence, just be willing to go into that space and come out and come out a brand new vessel. Whatever you thought you knew, be willing to release it, man. And the second thing, man, which is by far one of the most important things, man, is when you're in this space, it's all about, I don't want to say triangulating. It's all about seeing the world through the lens of God. Now it's different, because when I'm talking about the two greatest commandments of man, I'm talking about seeing the world as God sees it. But I'm speaking about something slightly different. I'm talking about seeing yourself, seeing the world, and see how the two relate through the lens of what God will see that as. And all I'm saying is, in that silence, man, to really get the real benefit, you have to separate yourself from yourself. You have to separate yourself from yourself first and observe self. Observe your strengths. Observe your weaknesses. If you still have it, observe those traumas that still have a hold on you. That video I made about, a year ago, 2 years ago? Who knows when it was? Maybe 3 years ago. While I was talking about going through that ring of fire. That's why a lot of people run from the silence. Because before there's any enlightenment, there's enlightenment of self. But that's a hard pill to swallow. When you're looking in the mirror, and you can look at how you operate and say, you know what? I can see my strengths. I can see my pros. But in this area, I suck in this discipline. I suck in this area. I suck in this level of communication, or whatever it is. I suck at that. And some people can't stand that self-criticization, that word, self-criticizing, that they'll never even go to that space. But you have to get through that first firewall first, right? And separate from yourself and look at yourself. And then from that same perspective, that same point of view, you have to look at the world. Okay, I see what the world is doing. I see what it's always been doing, and I see what it's doing in the future. I see it. Not from the perspective of myself, but from the perspective of God. And then you have to bring all those together. I see my strengths. I see my weaknesses. I see where I need to improve. I see where I dominate. And I see the way this world is made. And it all comes together, man. That's when you start getting the downloads. That's when you start getting the information, man, that's going to get you to the next level. That's where you're going to get the data that's going to, if you need it to be, get you out the mud. That's going to solve that problem. That's going to answer those questions. I'm going to tell you this, man. And this is why I love the silence so much. I don't believe there's anything on God's green earth. I don't think there's anything under the sun that is not even think. I know there's nothing in existence that if we desire it, we can't achieve it. There is nothing. But it's a matter of doing the work. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to get those answers, man, you got to go down that yellow brick road, man. You got to go inside. You got to go into that silence. And once you learn to look at the world, once you learn to look at all aspects of it, bro, as God sees it, it's crazy on the information you're going to receive from that. But I want to say this, man, because this is one thing, and this is one thing that a brother of mine and I were talking about at some point in time. He said, so how long do I need to spend in the silence? How long do I need to stay in this place of solitude? And it's not about how long you should stay in this place, because you got to understand this. When you're in that space, when you're that close to God, when you're walking with Source, time is no longer a thing. Like time is irrelevant. I'm always talking about the only difference between heaven and earth is time. That's the only thing that separates those is time. And you got to understand, when you're walking with Source, when time there becomes irrelevant. There's been times, man, where I spent maybe a weekend saying, you know what, man, let me just shut down, cut my ringer off, cut this phone, and go into this space and be in communion with God and get those answers I'm seeking. At the same time, man, I've been in that silence for months. I mean, there's been two periods of, since I've been making YouTube videos, there's been 2 periods where I've gone 4 months or greater without even making any content. There was 4 months, and then there was one where it was like 6.5 months. I didn't make any content. I didn't post anything. Matter of fact, I deleted an Instagram channel. I didn't post any videos on my YouTube channel, and I was just in that space. Because when you're in that space, it's timeless. It might be 5 minutes. It might be 5 years. You're in a timeless place, man. And you can't rush the information that you're getting in there, because my opinion is when you're in there getting that information, I believe the world is preparing for what you're about to bring in. So sometimes God might throw the world in the oven for a little bit. So while you're getting these downloads, he's preparing a place for you, man. He's preparing some things for you. So when you go into that silence, man, cut the clock off. Cut the clock off, man, and just walk in that oneness with God, which is timelessness. There is no time, you know? And I would say the third thing is this, man, and this is important as well. When you come out of that silence, like, because you're going to get the information you're seeking. When you come out of that silence, this is very important. One thing you're going to want to do is talk about what you learn in that silence. And I've learned this over years. You're gonna want to come out, man. You're gonna have this new insight. You're gonna have this new perspective on the way the world works and how you can insert yourself inside of it to dominate. But it's not about you. It's not about you sharing what was shown to you. It's about you demonstrating it. It's about you demonstrating it, man. Like, there are times, of course, this is me looking back to my 20s, before I was even calling it the silence, when I was just kind of going within and separating myself from the world, and I was coming out with this information. And back then, it was so shocking back then that I wanted to tell everybody. I'm telling the person I'm in a relationship with, I'm telling my parents, I'm telling everybody, man, this is the truth. This is the gospel. This is the way we should function in our lives. And people looked at me like, brother, you're damn near the devil talking like that. Like, that's blasphemy, the things you're saying. Or some people soul, or they call me mom, you done lost your mind. And I would hear their chatter in the background, man. Yeah, he's talking about this, he done lost his mind, and da-da-da-da-da, he's talking crazy. And for years, I was going into this silence and coming out and sharing this information, thinking that was the way I was supposed to be moving. My thing was, man, it's like, if I'm going into this place and God is talking to me, if I love my brothers like I love myself, I want to tell them what God told me. But you got to understand, man, when God is speaking to you, it's as specific as a fingerprint. It's not for you to be talking about. It's for you to be demonstrating, man. You have to demonstrate what you were shown. You know what I'm saying? If y'all understand what I'm saying. And anybody and this is what's crazy. I love this, man. Like I can tell when brothers go through that first stage of enlightenment by the things they talk about and the way they're trying to get people to buy in. And I'm not saying that like, oh, so I can see. I'm saying it because now I can only imagine that when I went through it and when I was making certain kind of posts and having certain kind of conversations, I'm sure there were brothers looking at me saying, hey, Soul just went to that place for the first time. There's a brother on my Facebook, man, a brother I grew up with. He's a couple of years older than me, man, but we grew up together. And man, he's a cool cat. He's been a certain way his whole life. And over the last year or two, he's just posting this information like he's trying to raise awareness. And it's like, I see, like in my mind, I'm saying, you've been to that place. That's what I'm saying, man. And I never say nothing to him, man. It's just beautiful to watch. And I'm sure that, we can all look at each other and see our phases in life and spirituality and walk with God and the whole shebang, man. But what I'm saying is you got to come out and you got to be demonstrating that. It's about you demonstrating that, man. I was just talking to my brothers in the circle on our last call. Quick note too, man. We're having an open house this Sunday in the Power Circle. I'll have that link available on the next video, which I'll post another video tomorrow. I'll be talking more about the Power Circle open house this coming Sunday, 7 p.m. Make sure you're there, brothers. We're opening the windows up, man. We're only going to take a handful of brothers. The open house is open for everybody, but we're only going to accept a few new members this quarter, man. We're going to keep that number low. We got to keep it very controlled. But anyway, I was just talking to my brothers about, if y'all have seen me post my videos, sometimes I walk in the morning. I get out about 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm walking these Thailand streets. And I'm going to tell you this. It seems like every single dog in Thailand is on the same frequency. I've encountered dogs in the middle of the night in Chiang Mai, dogs in the middle of the night in Nong Khai here in Bangkok, dogs in the middle of the night in Phuket. And all dogs, they approach you aggressively, but once they get close, man, they're like man's best friend. Every single one of them, right? But there's this one dog here close to where I walk at now, man. He's always behind a fence. All of them are always loose. He's behind a big gate. And every time I walk by that gate, man, in the middle of the night, brother, he's just barking like crazy. He's just barking like crazy, man, and having these little fits, like in his mind, saying, you know what? You look at this gate is closed because like I'm halfway crazy. Anyway, one time I'm walking through the house in the middle of the day, man, and the gate is wide open. The gate is wide open, man, and it's like the first thing I did was look at this dog, man. The first thing he did was look around. I guess he was looking for his owner, and when with nobody present, he just sit there and lay down. And I'm thinking, man, you've done all this barking, you've done all this preparation, but when it was time for you to come outside, you wasn't really about that life. Like you didn't demonstrate all that chatter you were talking about. So all I'm saying is, brothers, when you come out that silence, you're gonna have some information to run with. But don't be speaking and barking about it. Demonstrate it. Demonstrate it in your walk. And the reason I say demonstrate, I'm gonna say this. Not only demonstrate it, but demonstrate it aggressively. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying that. What I've noticed over the last, 15, 20 years, is that when I go in those moments of solitude, and again, sometimes it's a weekend, but when I go through those periods of solitude that are like several weeks, maybe even a couple of months, I've noticed that whenever that gate opens, man, when I act aggressively, like the world bends for me aggressively. And what I mean by that is, like I'm always saying how the world is. I'm always saying, hey, you know what? A lot of people wake up every day and they're responding to what they see the world doing, when actually the world is responding to the frequency we're walking in. Right? I'm always saying that. You have to understand that when you spend time in silence, when you spend time that close to God, you have to understand when you come out and those gates open, the world is watching you like, tell me what you want. Show me what to give you. In other words, think about it like this. I'll break it down like this. Let's say we're all, I just say it simple like this. Let's say if a man walks in a room with God, right? Figuratively speaking. Let's say if all of us brothers are sitting out here chilling, man, and God says, hey, brother so-and-so, come here and chop up with me. And that brother goes in there, he's in there for 3 hours talking to God. For 3 hours. When that door opens up and he comes out, all eyes are on him. All eyes are on him. Everybody's saying, okay, that brother's been having a one-on-one chop session with Source. When he comes out, like, what is this brother about to do? Like what does he know that we don't know? He's been walking with God. So you gotta understand, the world is doing the exact same thing. When I say the world, meaning the essence of this world, the ether, the thing that responds to our identity, brother, it's looking at you like, show me something. Because I'm about to put life on a platter for you. So the thing is, man. So the thing is, when you get this information, because you're going to get the data. Matter of fact, don't come out of the silence until you get that information. When you come out of that silence, when you come out of that stillness, come out, man, with aggression. Come out with aggression. And when I say aggression, be aggressive with your identity. Be aggressive with your decisions. Be aggressive in the plays you call. Be aggressive in the fact that you're not going to live life with fear. Be aggressive with the risk you take. Because you got to understand what you just heard, man, it is pure gold. You can stand on it. If you did the work when you're on the inside. If you did the work, you can stand on it, man. So again, man, the silence, man, it's a beautiful place. Most men run from it. Most men run from it, and now, you know, as I gotten older, I understand why they run from it. Oh, it's a special place, man. It's a place that as beautiful as it is, it's a place that every man can't walk that part of the path, man, because so many things are exposed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's silence, man. Again, open house this Sunday. On Sunday's call, man, we're talking about you not being stuck. And I want to have this conversation, man, on Sunday, because this is what I know. I know for a fact, and I'm talking about a lot of men that watch this channel. I'm talking strictly watch this channel. I know that there are a lot of men that have the courage to dare, that have the faith to do and put the work in. It's just that they don't know what to do. That there are certain things, like there are certain men that are meant for greatness. It's just that, and they have the gonads. They just don't know what to do. We want to talk about what's missing from your blueprint. Let me say it like that. It's not the courage. There are just some things missing from your blueprint. And what I mean by that is, I know a lot of y'all brothers are looking at men that are just moving through life, getting new jobs, getting promoted, building houses, getting married, having beautiful families, buying fast cars, moving out of the country. Y'all are seeing men move like that, and y'all are saying, like what do these men know that I don't know? I'm gonna tell you Sunday, when you come to open house, I'm gonna tell you this. You're gonna be in a room full of men that move like that. I'm not talking about getting on the gram and see somebody posting about, oh, my life is doing this. I'm talking about you're gonna be in a room with every man's life is moving like that. Y'all see Soul Man go from making videos in a car to moving to Dallas to moving out there to getting the house and now moving overseas. Y'all can see my life and just doing certain things. You're going to be in a room full of men whose lives do that. You know what I'm saying, bro? So yeah, we opening the doors for y'all brothers to come in, man. It's going to be a free call. It's going to be a powerful call. And all this stuff I'm talking about, y'all going to see Sunday, man. So I'll be posting that link tomorrow. I'll say this, man, now that I'm thinking, and I'm going to close out with this, bro. Like, I believe any person on the planet can pick 10 of the most knowledgeable men that they know on the planet. I'll let anybody choose 10 of the most knowledgeable men they know on the planet. And then I'll let that same man pick any 10 men in the power circle. And I guarantee you the knowledge won't even be close. I guarantee you the knowledge won't even be close. So that's the room you're going to be in this Sunday, man. So I look forward to seeing you on the call. And again, my next video, check out next video, tomorrow's video, or I'll probably put a link in the community and on social media. But yeah, you want to definitely tap into that, man. You're not stuck, man. It's just some items missing from your blueprint, brothers.